Hello everyone. We are talking about the guidelines for a design document for a data and analytics platform. We are on to the section 9, which is references. This section may not be that important. It may not sound that important, but trust me, this is one of the important sections within the design document because this is where you can give links to all other documents so that this one design documents can be the one place from where any technical person, right? It can be a technical architect, a tech PM, a tech lead, the data engineers, the testers, right? They can navigate through all the documents, and it this document can help as a serve as a starting point to get to know about all these documents that exist. So you may have a lot of things in Word documents, or there might be some wiki pages that you have got, or SharePoint, right? Give links of all of these, right? Now, what all things you can add here, right? The normal ones are fine. The documents related to the business requirement document, functional document, the infrastructure details of the overall project. There might be some enterprise level architecture, or there would be their data models and data dictionaries, right? Do add all these things here. Okay, give the links to that, a direct link, a clickable links, right? So it is easy for the particular person, right? See, because the audience of this design document is going to be, different personas. There can be engineers as well as analysts. So engineers might be more interested in understanding the ETL mapping documents, right? Source to target mapping documents. The testers might be more interested in understanding the business requirement document. The support folks might be more interested in understanding the SLAs and NFRs and the infrastructure details, right? So give the details and have this link so that people can go and access to this. The whole idea is to make this document as one single central document for the data platform, for all the people involved in this to navigate through all the other documents. Now these were all the typical documents which are really required. I think mainly for the modern data world, right? Because there is so many things happening around in the tech world. So many things are changing. So many new features do get released, right? Every month or even every week for some of the products. Do add all the extra details as well. Now, what are the things that you can add, right? The first thing is the technology blog. So most of the product vendors have their own tech blogs being published, right? Again, on weekly basis. Some of them might do on ad hoc basis, maybe after every new feature release, right? So this is not the tech documentation. Okay, I'm not talking about the product documentation, which is always available. When you just do a Google, you will find that. But these are the tech blogs which are really really good. It can help you to understand how certain features can be used in your implementation. So if you have seen the blogs by Databricks team, right? They often tell, okay, this is the feature and how do you use it, or some case studies also. So always have a look at these. So especially for any specific feature, to give an example, right? If you are using the Snowflake's dynamic masking feature, or if you are into AWS ecosystem, you are using the PI detection feature, which is in Glue, which is again maybe a relatively new feature, or Databricks change data feed, right? Uh, there would be documentation for these features for sure, but then these blocks, right? It will give an idea how these can be used, and if at all you are planning to use it, right? You have mentioned somewhere in your tech solution that you want to use it. You give references to these, because see, as an architect you might go through all these blogs, but then it's not being captured anywhere, right? That okay, this blog is very very relevant to what you're trying to do. So do mention that, so that see, 2 months down the line when the implementation team is trying to use that feature, by that time you might forget about these blocks, right? So whatever learning you have done by going through these blocks, you need to pass it on to the dev team as well. Now, tech blocks is one thing. There are a lot of webinars and offline videos which are available from the conferences or the summits that happen, right? All these conferences, there are some really really good videos, customer experiences, right? They're talking about how they have implemented it and all, right? It would really help. And sometimes I've seen some of the lectures are very very specific to some specific issues as well. So if at all you have gone through that and if you think these are relevant, do mention that so that the implementation team can also go through it. The third is the if there are any good demos and hands-on videos, right? Again, for the new feature, most of these right the products, they have some demos created. There might be some live demos also happening, so you can pass on that information also. So if people are new to that particular product, right? See, if you're using things like Databricks or Snowflake or even something in Azure, Azure Synapse, there might be some new features. Okay, you're trying to, especially if you're trying to build things like data mesh or lake house, right? These are all pretty new things. So people may not be aware of these. So if you can provide links to the demos and hands-on which are already available offline, then do that so that they can go through it and get that understanding. And the last, I think the most important one I would say of all of these is the trainings from the product vendors. Uh, like if your partner or your customer, right, you would get access to these. So mention if there are any good trainings available there, so that again people would go and have a look at it. See, these are, I understand, these are not really part of the design document as such, but I think it's a good thing so that you can share that knowledge. Because see, as an architect, right, what happens, we often go through all of these. Okay, because without that, to come up with a design, it's a very difficult thing, right? You have to there are new features, you have to keep on learning yourself. So you keep on going through all of these, but then that knowledge does not get shared with the implementation team. That's the reason, if you have gone through some of the trainings through AWS Partnercast or Databricks Academy, Snowflake, I think, has a learning portal, right? Give those links in this document also, so that the people who are going to implement these can also go and have a look at that. It will help them uh, to implement the code in a better way. And again, so it also helps you to be on the same page, right? So if there is a new feature and if you're trying to talk with the implementation team, the dev team, or the developers, data engineers, and if they are not aware of the feature, it becomes very difficult to have a good brainstorming session around it. So once they are onboarded with all these ideas and how it has to be used, it will become an much easier for an architect to have the discussion with the data engineers. So yeah, please do add all these things. Just to give us a summary, the typical documents, yes, the BRDs, data models, data dictionaries, yes, do add that. But along with that, any new features, any new thing that you are trying to implement, so any supporting documents, blog videos, webinars, right, demos, please add the links for that also.